Hey, what's up, Connects out there in High Vibes? In today's video, I just basically want to talk about the dream within the dream. How people are living in this, these dream worlds and these fantasy worlds, and they're living within these programs, and they're actually living the lives of TV, basically. And they're actually, but basically, I'll just get into it right away. So people, when people are watching TV and stuff like that, if you haven't taken the time to observe TV or even observe people, you'll see how the program on the TV becomes their reality, because or the TV is a reality TV, but it's a fake reality TV show. If you get what I'm saying, basically, because once people get programmed with that ideology and that style of living, basically, then they're out here living that lifestyle in that box, that mentality within those frequencies, and dictating their life off of those types of programs and things like that. And people are living a fake life, basically. This is the fake life that people live. They're showing people what they should be living and stuff like that, but then people are getting confused because there are all these lies and deception, and people are allowing themselves to get into a beta brainwave where they're actually not consciously aware of things. See, when you become consciously aware, it's no longer you just oh, this is the way I need to live, all these different types of things. And when I talk about the gestures of the reality and stuff like that, what I'm actually talking about is when these agents are out here, they're putting on a show. They're the illusionists. They're the gestures of the Matrix. They're actually putting on a program. This is the program of the ego and the TV and the reality. See, they're playing along with the scripts of the TV shows and stuff like that, and they're contributing to the ego in the way that it's being dictated and manipulated throughout this reality. See, they don't want you to understand that. See, if you can understand the way or how they're actually using the man-made matrix to basically implement the TV and stuff like that, and they're showing people and programming people with the ideologies that they're showing people, and then people are living it out. And then you have the programmers and stuff like that that are out in the matrix that know what they're doing, and they're using the hand mudras, because then the people on TV will use the hand mudras. These are like the people that are basically the programmers, and they'll actually use different types of people, basically, and start accessing them, basically, to start using them, because once you become in a beta brainwave and you're actually in the drone mode, they can access you and get you back into that state where basically you're just living out life, basically, as the TV show and stuff like that. You're actually living a fake life. The real reality is being in tune with spirit, being with the trees and stuff like that, getting in tune with the spirit of nature and stuff like that, getting back into the roots of who you truly are. See, they're trying to get you into all these different types of things, to get you drained, to be in a lower state of consciousness, like I said, where they can manipulate you. But if you stay high in vibration, and if you continue to rise, as a spiritual being, you're going to start, getting past the levels of, limitations that these people have put into the box. Because people are living by limitations. There are no limitations. See, when you truly get into your higher self and you truly rise beyond all the adversity, all these things that they try to do, revving their cars and stuff like that, I got my bell, right? And I'm sitting here ringing my bell and stuff like that when I was biking and stuff, and they were getting all activated. They started revving their cars and stuff like that, and I knew what was going on, because they don't like that sound. I highly recommend getting the bell and stuff like that. But if you want to know how to further use the bell and stuff like that, I highly recommend getting the Beginner Spiritual Warriors Workshop that Astral Solson has. I'll put a link in the description so that way you can get access to that, so you know how to properly use your spiritual tools like that, because you got to know how to use your tools and stuff like that to protect yourself, because they'll use the technology against you and stuff like that. So why aren't you using your inner technology and the things that you have available, basically, to help protect yourself or send out high vibes and things like that? You could be just chilling by yourself and going high vibes, all these different things, but and people are just living within all these different programs. You have to break through all these layers that these programs have been put onto yourself, so that way you can truly be free. Not all these things that they tell you to be, or what you think that you'd be, because all these ideologies are just programming people to stay in a lower vibration. And it's hard for people to break out sometimes, because they don't know where to look, and they start going crazy in their mind, because they're like, all right, they're searching for all this stuff in life, but they're never finding the true answer, because the true answer is within yourself. You can find bits and parts of it out in nature and stuff like that, to see the balance and the duality and how things work like that, so that way you can better understand yourself and the higher perspectives of reality and stuff like that. Excuse me. But you want to be all that you can be in life. You don't want to sit here and be, you know, what they want you to be. You want to be your own you. You want to be the person that, you know, doesn't matter what people think of you or what you do in your life. You are you, you know, because you are a spiritual being. You are that higher self of who you already truly are. It's just being that true person that you are, because they don't want you to be true. They don't want you to be who you are. They'd rather have you play along with their, you know, their TV games and all these different stuff, so where they can actually take advantage of you, because that's their you know, they, if you're a drone, you're their, you know, basically their entertainment, because they're just using you for their game and their illusion and stuff like that, and they're just playing, and they're the gestures, you know, behind the scenes, you know, working with the different, you know, hand mudras and stuff like that, and using those to actually get people into a program and things like that, where, you know, people aren't, you know, really paying attention to anything, and people will just get access and all these different types of things. But, you know, start realizing that a lot of people in this reality are living the dream within the dream. And if you can be in tune with yourself and true to yourself, you're going to start to break through all these different barriers that you may have put on yourself, or people have put onto yourself, because a lot of times, you know, there's all these different types of energies and stuff like that, but you have to be willing to go inside yourself to find the true part of who you are, because a lot of people are lost. There's a lot of lost spirits out here. You got to find your spirit, which is already inside you. It's just reconnecting to that spirit. See, they try to tell you, oh, you got to search outside into different galaxies and stuff like that, and all these different types of things. And another thing too, what was I was experiencing stuff like that, you'll start to see, you know, when you're in a really high vibration. Like, I can go to a store, right, and like there'll be nobody there, and like when I wasn't in a high vibration, no, when I was like, you know, I'm always in a high vibration, but like when my energy is extra high, right, when my energy is just like that boosted energy, you know, I could sit there and walk in, there'll be a bunch of people like throwing up mudras and stuff like that. I would walk out of the store, people are just throwing up mudras. Then there's people talking about, they'll actually have people that will come to you, you know, your jobs and stuff like that, and they'll actually, you know, have people listen in on what you talk about to certain people, to try to find out information about you, the things that you look up, if you're a threat to them, basically, because, you know, like I said in one of my videos, why would they need to like watch you or, you know, do anything and stuff like that. In all reality, you don't have to be paranoid either, because, you know, these people and stuff like that, even if, you know, you were being watched stuff, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like they can sit there and waste their time, you know, observing you and do all that stuff, because when you get into your spirit, and like when my videos are talking about actually being, you know, mysterious and stuff like that, they can think that they can know you and stuff like that, but the true core of who you truly are, you know, that true mystery, you know, that formless, shapeless energy, you can't box that shit in. You gotta be kidding me if you think, yeah, you can box in, you know, spirit. You know, it's like, if you get into your higher self, there is no limitations anymore. I highly recommend getting out into nature. Definitely do that. Get your feet planted on the ground, you know, and be aware of the people that are around you and what they're talking about. Because a lot of things that you may be talking about, or things that you have done or do, they'll start talking about those things that actually get to tap into your subconscious mind. See, you'll be talking about something, right? And then later that day, they might talk about something, and things like that. Also, the reason you want to become aware of your dreams, because last night they tried to get me with sex agents, right? But I made sure to shield before I go to bed. I make sure to shield all the time, because, you know, that's really important. And also, if you haven't gotten, you know, the right tools or the information to start shielding, you know, get the Beginner Spiritual Warrior Workshop. You got to start protecting yourself against these people, because, you know, as they continue to lower in vibration and, you know, get more activated on the hive mind, because they're lowering in their frequency, basically, to the point where they become more physical. They become, you know, in this vibration where they're trying to get people into the body. They're trying to get people locked down into that, you know, that state where they're not, you know, even aware of what's really going on, because they're trying to sever your spiritual connection. They're trying to cut that shit off. They're trying to hang you until you dry out, basically. They're trying to put you in a desert with no water, and they're like, yeah, guess what? They're trying to get you to be like, yeah, you can just starve out here. You know, you want to be in your spirit where you get that water, where you can be revitalized and stuff like that. It's like, if you were in the desert and would you want to drink some water because you were really dehydrated? That's like your spirit. Right now, if you're still like on between the fence and shit like that with your spirituality, your spirit's crying out to you to basically like, come on, give me some water. It's like, if you had a dog, right, and your dog was sitting outside all day, you didn't give it no water, your dog's going to be like, you know, I want some water. It's going to start giving you signs and stuff like that. Spirit's always giving the signs for everybody, whoever it may be, you know, if it's the slightest thing, because spirit always knows to a high perspective that, you know, everyone here has its purpose and stuff like that. Everyone has the chance and opportunity to grow and leave this place. It's just if you want to leave this place and stuff like that. And spirit wants you to be free from all this type of shit. You know, spirit doesn't want to see you sit here all day and be stuck here. But a spirit understands if you want to sit here all day and do nothing, then spirit's like, all right, I'm just going to move on. See, spirit understands duality because spirit made the duality. Everything that's here already, it came from spirit. So spirit already understands all this stuff and how it works. See, the agents try to figure out how everything works in this reality by doing mathematical equations, getting in contact with different demons and deities and stuff like that, and then and doing sacrifices and then doing certain rituals and trying to get that fear energy so they can feed these different types of entities and demons like that. So that way they can get certain rewards and stuff like that. See these demons and stuff like that, or these demons out here and these agents and stuff like that. These psychic rebels and things like that. If they're trying to make you fearful and stuff like that, they're trying to harness, a certain energy within you. They're trying to take it away from you so that way they can either feed themselves or feed the demons and stuff that they're working for. Because, what is the motive behind certain things? Think of this, like a detective, basically. You got to become a spiritual detective in your life. So that way you can be like, all right, what's the motive behind all this stuff? What's the motive of the MPA and stuff like that? Once you start to, truly ask questions about, all right, why would it be, why would they do this or why would they do that? You can start to put the puzzle pieces together, surely enough, and if you put in that 100%, you're going to get there a lot quicker than you expected. As long as you keep putting in the work, you're going to get there faster and faster. It's like Moore's law. The more you put in the momentum, the more it builds, basically. And that's like with spirit. You put in the momentum 100%, then spirit's going to match you that 100% momentum, and boom, 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 you start going faster and faster, and your vibration, your frequency starts picking up. And that's when the agents start coming around. They don't want that energy to rise in true frequency. Because once your frequency gets high enough, you can actually start to do different types of abilities. You could actually like teleport. You can do all these different types of things. You can actually, I'm not gonna get all into it. I'm gonna leave the rest up to you to explore out there. You can do a whole bunch of shit, but you can do all sorts of things out here in this reality. This reality is not what it seems. When they talk about the times, 44, that dragonfly 44 energy and stuff like that, when you start to see how it's connected to this reality and stuff like that, how it shapes and forms everything, and it's all energy, right? You got to start to think how, things can be changed. Things can, matter can be bent and stuff. Some rules can be bent in this reality. Because I know I said in one of my videos, there are limitations here to a certain degree. There's certain rules set in place. Doesn't mean you can't bend those rules. See, there's always the duality. There's always things set in place and stuff like that. Then you can do things when you're working with, if you're working with spirit and spirit's working with you, basically, you can already have things set up in place already beforehand, before the agents even know, basically, because they try to analyze everything with their technology and doing all these equations and stuff like that, and trying to read, using their technology to read your aura, taking pictures, trying to get you into that that box and get you lost inside the box, basically, trying to do that black magic on you, because they're trying to do their black magic on you. They're trying to tap into your subconscious mind so that way they can get access to your higher self. Well, not your higher self, but to different realms of your mind and stuff like that. So that way they can start programming you, dictating you, and things like that, because they know how powerful you are as a spiritual being. Once you get truly powerful enough, and it's not about being powerful, because in all reality, it's not that you're powerful. It's because it comes from spirit, because spirit already made everything the way it is. And then when you're working with spirit, you can do certain things. Spirit allows you to do certain things because you're in the right vibration. See, if you're not in the right vibration, how are you going to do things? Just like in your school, right? If you don't get a good grade in your school, are you going to pass? Are you going to be able to do certain things? Just like in a video game, if you don't acquire, like if you want to get 100% sequence and stuff like that, or like different, basically, hopefully you guys get my drift. Basically, if you're not putting in the work, how are you going to get anywhere? How are you going to get the different abilities to do certain things? You got to make sure your chi's charged. You got to make sure you're doing all these different types of things to protect yourself, so that way you can truly vibrate to a higher frequency, where I mean, man, if you would just turn up in your lives, if you just like tune into your higher self, there is no limitations. There are no boxing. All these fears and these doubts that people that you may have in yourself, there is no doubts. There is none of that shit. There is no. I'm not saying that you can't experience it, because we do experience this type of stuff, but it's not there. It's not real. Because if you're in yourself, in your true self, what is there? There's you, that higher self, that love, that higher self frequency, that connectedness to everything. The spirit within everything is the spirit within you, and you gain that connection. You start to feel it all around you, because you truly vibrate to a higher frequency. You start buzzing. But it's not about the buzz. It's about what's really true in your life, what's really true in this reality, and who you truly are as a spiritual being. It's not about what they want you to be. It's not about what, getting the girlfriends. It's not about, going to college. It's about finding who you truly are. It's about finding who you really are in your life. It's about finding the true purpose and of who you are in your life. And that's what makes you free. That's what sets you free out of all of this. It lets you be truly who you are. You're no longer sitting here, going, man, wishing all this different type of stuff, and you're following all these different paths that they try to put you on, which leads nowhere. But when you're in your spirit, you're on your path. You're on that right path. And that's all I want to say in this video. Follow your path. Be observant of these the adjustment brewer here. When they made that movie, there are the adjustment brewer, because they will send in the agents. They will do these different types of things. They'll try to program the environment, the places that you go, so that way they can start to try to get you, back into those lower frequencies. That's all I want to say in this video. Peace and on with my high self vibrations. My full love to all those watching, and always my gratitude.